Hi everyone, welcome. Northern Zen Yoga. My name is Sandra, and this is going to be a chair yoga class. Now I'm just going to have a quick look over here at my computer to see if I'm set up properly. I apologize for the big computer thing over here in the side, but it will be very difficult for me to see the computer if I'm over here sitting in the chair and the computer is way over there to say hello to you or answer any questions after. So, oh, hi Brenda. Thank you for joining us. And Brenda's in Montreal. So, if you haven't already got your setup, please go and do that right away. You're going to need a chair. Now, the best kind of chair is generally a kitchen chair because they have no arms. They're pretty sturdy and they're generally the right height for your legs. And there's not a lot of cushioning so that you're like overly like unstable as you sit on your chair. The other thing you're going to need, and if you have blocks, one or two blocks, go and grab them. If you don't have blocks, you can always use some hard-covered books. So if you are rushing off to get some hard-covered books, get two or three or four of them. The more the better, because then you can adjust them to see the height for your feet. And then we're going to move the feet around so that way you have maybe a couple of books for each foot. So check that out. Make sure that you have the right stuff. Other than that, you really don't need anything more than comfortable clothing. You should be wearing stuff that you can move fairly freely in. It doesn't have to be yoga gear. It could be a sweatsuit. It could be sweatpants and a sweatshirt, t-shirt. Just something that's not going to restrict your movement. The beauty of chair yoga is that anybody can do it. Quite often, we resist doing yoga, especially as we get older. And if you were like me, when I first started, because it's very difficult to get up and down off of the floor and sometimes almost impossible. And for some of us that have really low mobility, it's not even an option to get down onto the floor and get back up again. So the chair takes you to a level that you're able to do yoga and do it fairly well and not that much differently than what we do when we're sitting on a mat with a few adjustments. So if you've always wanted to do yoga, but you couldn't get down onto the floor, this is the practice for you, chair yoga. And most yoga practices, with a few exceptions, can be adapted to you sitting in a chair while everybody else is sitting on the floor. So keep that in mind. Anyway, we're going to start very shortly. I'm just looking at the time. I'm going to give people a few more minutes to get connected with us, and then we're going to start the practice. So go get your stuff if you need to. You've got a few moments before we're going to begin. And while I'm waiting for everyone to get organized, I just want to remind you that there's a yin yoga workshop coming up, and it's on November the 14th. This is Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's on Zoom. So even if you're not a member of Northern Zen Yoga, you can still participate in the workshop, but there's a small fee attached to it. It's just $5, and you will find out a lot of information about the practice of yin yoga. And if you haven't done yin yoga, please check out some of my videos that I have in the channel that are strictly to yin yoga. Now, yin yoga is a very, very beautiful practice. It's very slow, it's very relaxed, and it's very deep stretching, so that if you are in a position where you have just begun yoga and you're not that flexible yet, yin will help you to get closer to the level of flexibility that you need in order to feel comfortable doing your yoga practice. So check it out. I put a little video out just the other day, just talking a little bit about what the workshop is about. So check that out on my channel feed. Okay. All right. Whoop. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. What time is it now? I'm going to give us to 5 after, and then I'm going to begin the class. So if you have any questions, you can ask me a question right now if you're curious about what chair yoga is really about, you can ask me that right now while we're waiting for others to show up. And if not, well, just remember the other thing too about Northern Zen Yoga is I do have a website. You can go to my website and get some information about workshops, about classes, and about becoming a member. And a membership with Northern Zen Yoga is very inexpensive. You get a lot for your money. And there are at least 12 classes that are on Zoom that are live that you can join if you like. But if you don't want to be restricted to the time that they're showing, or you're not too comfortable with being on Zoom, or you don't know how to do that at all, there is a library of classes, videos of previous classes that you can have access to and watch anytime that's convenient for you. All right, I think we're going to start. So if you haven't already, just get into your chair and we're going to go through a few preliminaries before we begin. So when you sit on the chair, I don't want you to sit all the way back and relax into the chair. Instead, I want you to sit just a little bit more forward on your seat. And the most important thing to remember is you should be able to plant your feet down on the ground, that you should not be dangling in any way. And that's the reason why we have the books or the blocks. Now, for me, the blocks are a bit too high, but I've got this little cushion here. It's just a kind of a foam cushion that I've got that seems to be a little bit better for me. Because what I want is I want my legs to be not pressing into the edge of the chair. I want them to be level and flat, but if they're pressing into the chair in order for me to get my feet flat on the ground, that's going to start to cut off some circulation, and that's not such a good thing. So that's the first thing you have to figure out, is that what height can I put my feet at? Now, it's better to be a little bit higher if you only have blocks than it is to be too low, just for that purpose of not cutting off your circulation. So we're sitting up nice and straight. Our feet are firmly planted down. And we're just going to sit for a few moments and breathe. Just like in our regular yoga practice, we need to kind of get grounded into the moment. So close your eyes if you like, or you can just let your eye become soft so that you're not really looking around and you're not really focusing on anything in particular. And just become aware of your breathing. You don't have to force anything or do anything fancy. Just breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. And you can rest your hands on your lap if you like, or you can have your hands laced between your legs. And just breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let them drop down a little bit. Let your shoulder blades flatten down on your back. Have your chin up, but level to the floor. Not looking up, not looking down. Clearing your mind of any random thoughts. Just push them out of the way and say, well, I'll think about that later. I'll think about the grocery list later. Instead, focus on breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Watch yourself breathe. Feel yourself breathe. Now we are going to start to control that breath a little bit. On the inhale, we're inhaling in through the nose, into the belly. So as you inhale, push your belly out. And as you exhale, push it back in and exhale out through the nose. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in nice and slow. And breathing out just as slowly. Getting into a lovely rhythm of breathing, the belly breath breathing technique, the one we all should be using all the time, but we forget. We breathe a few shallow breaths, So we're going to connect now our breath with our movement. So allow your hands to relax down by your side. And on the inhale, we're going to inhale up, reaching up as high as we can, but not squeezing our shoulders. So we're going to let our shoulders relax, and we're just going to bring the hands up as close as we can to each other. You can touch fingers, fantastic. If not, don't worry about it. Exhale, slowly dropping the hands down to your sides again. Inhale up. Trying to touch fingertips together, get it close as you can. Exhale down. This time on the inhale up, let's look up, looking up toward the sky or your ceiling. And on the exhale, let's drop our chin down to our chest. Inhale up, looking up. Exhale, let's drop chin to chest. We're going to stop here on the finish of that exhale. You can start breathing regular breaths again. And we're going to reach out. Just stretch your hands out, right out to the fingertips. So I want you to feel the stretch right from your shoulder, down your arm, right to your fingertips. So stretch out. Reach for the floor. Feel the tension building across your arms as you stretch and dropping your chin down into your chest. Make sure you're sitting up straight. And then we're going to rotate palms forward and just push. Trying to bring our shoulder blades more toward each other. Keep your chin down. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, let's bring those hands forward. Going to bring fingertips to touch each other. On your inhale, open up. On your exhale, bring the hands toward each other. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Bring fingertips toward each other again. Inhale, open up one more time. And this time on the exhale, we'll drop the hands down to the sides. So we're going to do a little bit of a flow. It's called the 6 directions of the spine. So nice and easy and slow. We're going to inhale, reaching up. And then on our exhale, we're going to drop one hand down. So I'm using the right hand. You can use whichever hand happened first. And stretch. Take a side stretch. Inhale. Bring that hand up. Exhale. Let's drop the other hand down. And you should be resting it on the edge of your chair just for support. Take a side stretch that side. Inhale your arm up. And this time on the exhale, we're going to do a twist. So we're going to take the right hand and we're going to drop it back behind the chair. Grab the back of the chair if you like. And bring the left hand down to our lap. And we're just going to turn our chin as far as we can to the right. Come back to center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Bring the left hand down behind this time, grabbing the chair. Bring the right hand to your lap. Turn your chin to the left. And then come back to center. Inhale the arms up. This time on the exhale, we're going to come down and we're going to grab just underneath our thigh. And we're going to inhale and bring the knee up as high as we can toward our chest. So I can bring mine pretty high up. If you just manage to lift it up off the chair and that feels like you're doing something, you're doing it. So don't worry about it. Don't have to look like me. Exhale that down. Inhale the arms up. Exhaling into prayer. Inhale, let's push up through the center. Exhale, drop the right hand down. Take a side bend to the right. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, drop your left hand down. Take a side bend to the left. Inhale up. On your exhale, let's do that twist toward the right, grabbing the chair. Drop your hand down. Turn your chin to the right as far as you can. Come back to center. Inhale up. Exhale, let's twist to the left. Turn your chin to the left. Back to center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, let's reach underneath. Lifting up our leg toward our chest. Exhale it down. Inhale the arms up. And this time on our exhale, we're going to reach behind. Reach behind the chair. And if you have those little rungs there, you can grab the rungs, or you can just grab the back of the chair. And we're going to inhale and lift our chin up toward the ceiling. Making just a little arch in our back. Exhale, drop the chin down. Drop your arms down. We're going to go through that sequence again for each side. So let's go, breathing in, reaching up. Exhale, drop the right hand down, take a side bend to the right, pressing your right palm into the chair. Try not to lift up your bum cheeks to do this. Just make sure you're still planted. Inhale that arm up, exhale, drop the left hand down, side bend to the left. Inhale up, exhale. Let's do a twist. Reaching your right hand behind you, left hand to your lap, and turning your chin toward that shoulder. Come back to center. Inhale up. Exhale. Let's twist again. Twisting to the left this time. Left shoulder behind us. Inhale. Come back to the center. Inhale up again. Exhale. Reach down. Grab your right leg underneath your thigh. Pull your knee up towards your chest. Exhale. Drop it down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Let's reach for the left. Inhale that up. Exhale it down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Reach behind you. Grab whatever you can in the back of your chair. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, relax down. Inhale the arms up again. Exhale into prayer. Inhale up, push up. Exhale, let's take that side bend to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, take the side bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, let's do the twist. Twisting to the right first. And we're just moving the shoulders so our bum is firmly planted down. Back to center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, let's twist to the other side. Come back to center. Inhale up. Exhale, let's reach down for the underneath the right leg and lift that knee up toward our chest. Exhale down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, let's reach underneath the left leg and pull that knee up toward the chest. Exhale it down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Hands behind you. Lift your chin. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to center. Inhale your arms up, palms together if you can get there. Or if you can't, start bringing the hands down till you can get the palms together. Coming down into prayer pose. Pushing the palms together. Now, for some of you, you may have some issues with the wrist. So start with the fingertips and start to press in toward the palms coming together. Now, if you're only here and you're feeling your arms pulling, the tendons here pulling, you're doing it. So don't worry if you can't get palm pressed together. I used to be like this. Now I'm like this. This takes a little time. It takes some stretching of the tendons in the wrists and some strengthening in the arms in order to get there. So don't worry about it. And then just breathe. Just taking a few breaths and do a little body scanning. Just see how you're feeling throughout your body now. So we're going to come next into a position that is a lot like the wide-legged child pose. So to do this, you're going to have to move your feet a little bit more out to the corners of your chair. So if you don't have extra blocks to do this, you can just plant your toes down in order to keep your legs from pressing too much into the chair. If you have a couple of blocks and you can just move them out to the side so that you can come into this wide leg position, then you can do that. Or if you've got the books, you can move one book over here, one book over here. So once you've got your legs in position, we're going to make sure that we push back just a little bit so we have a lot of space here to grab onto the front of our chair. So we're going to come into the wide leg child pose. So we're going to inhale, lifting up the ribs a little bit. And remember, the only thing we're concerned about is bringing our belly down toward our space between our legs. So hang on to that chair so you don't fall off, and just allow yourself to come down as far as you're able to. Now you're going to start to feel some pulling up into the groin area or the thighs. That's okay. That's what we're stretching. You may even feel a little stretching in the low back. So as long as you're not going into pain, you're just feeling that stretchy, achy feeling, you're good. So just gently coming down. And we're going to slowly push up, but just a couple of inches. And on your exhale, you're going to drop down again. See if you can get down a little lower. And come up just a couple of inches. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, relax back down again. So if you're in this position and you're feeling pretty good about reaching down toward the floor, you can start to reach for the floor. But I caution you about this. I don't want anybody falling off their chair. So make sure you're sitting far back in your chair. Make sure you're not feeling dizzy or disoriented of any kind. And then you can start to just let your weight drop you down that little distance difference. Now, if you're only way up here and you can let your weight start coming like this, if it doesn't look like what anybody else is doing, that's okay. It's all about the sensation that you're feeling. If you're feeling stretching, if you're feeling achiness in your joints or in your muscles, you're doing yoga. Those of you that have watched a lot of my videos or follow me or are a member of Northern Zen, you're going to try to reach down toward the floor because I know you can get there. And here I'm touching down onto my cushion here. And I can feel this. This feels very good stretch here. And then to come back up, you're going to press into your thighs. You're not going to use your back. You're going to use your arms to push you back up again. So coming up nice and easy. Now we're going to turn our attention toward our right leg. And we're just going to do the same thing, but we're going to come down, bringing our chest down toward our thigh. So again, hang on to your chair. You can hang on to the back of the chair. You can hang on to the seat of the chair. And once you've found a place where you think this is where I have to stop, because if I go any deeper, I'm probably going to have to lift up my bum cheek. We don't want to lift the bum cheek up. So we're just going to come up just about an inch. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to drop down again. Now this one, you're going to feel it more around the opposite hip. So I'm feeling this in my left hip, in the back, around my low back. Let's come up just about an inch and exhale as we sink down. See if we can get just a little deeper into that stretch. So just remember, don't lift up your bottom to get there. If you have to do that, you need to stop and stay at the place where you can plant your bum down. Breathe here. And again, if you're fine here and you're feeling a really good stretch, you can stay there. If you are feeling like you need to try to see if you can go a little deeper, you can start reaching down toward the floor. Let your body weight drag you down. Just keep your bum planted. And then once you want to come back up again, and we're going to inhale, use the chair to help push you up. Don't use your back muscles to bring you back up again. The reason we don't use the back muscles is simply because they have been just stretched and maybe stretched as far as their capacity is. Now to ask them to quickly contract and lift weight could be injurious. So always respect your body. Now when I came up after that, I don't know why. Maybe it's this particular day. Maybe it's because I haven't eaten any food yet, or who knows what, atmospheric pressure. I had a little bit of dizziness happen. And if that ever happens to you when you're doing your yoga practice, whether you're on a chair or whether you're sitting on the floor in your regular practice, just take a few breaths, close your eyes for a second, and then just allow that sensation to pass. Don't worry about it, it happens. It's all about your blood pressure, changes in your blood pressure. Okay, we're going to look over toward the left knee now. So, same thing, we're just going to come down until we can find that first initial stretching out sensation. And on the inhale, we're going to come up just an inch. On the exhale, we're going to drop down again. Inhale, come up just an inch. Exhale, let's relax back down again. See if we can go just a little deeper. And let's do that one more time. Just come up just a little bit, just about an inch. Exhale, drop back down again. Now, most of you will find that you have sunk down just a little tiny bit deeper than you did when you first stopped, and that's what we're going for. Once you're here, you can stay here for a few more breaths, or you can let your weight bring you down, drag you down just a little more, and you're probably feeling a nice stretch happening from about your bum cheek up to just under your rib cage. Pushing into the chair, let's come up nice and slow, coming into the upright position. So we're going to come into what's called half butterfly now. So you may need to just scooch a little bit closer toward the center of the chair. We're going to take our right leg. So for me, in order to do this, or if you have your block, you can flip around. I need to get pretty close to the edge of the chair, just simply because I can feel too much of that chair digging into my thigh. So I'm going to extend out this leg. So this leg, you can have it on the floor, you can have it on a block, you can have that block on different sides depending on how you're feeling. And I'm just going to let that leg just relax out to the side. Yours might look a little bit more straight depending on how open your hip will go. So I'm just going to let that leg go over to the side. I'm not really worried about that leg. I'm thinking about this leg. So going into the butterfly position is just quite simply a lot like what we were looking like before. We're bringing our belly down. But make sure you can grab onto the back of your chair, the seat of your chair, to keep you from falling. That's the only thing in chair yoga you always have to be aware of, is that if you're off balance, you could fall off the chair. Take an inhale, and if you like, you can stretch up, reach up. And on your exhale, we're just bringing the belly down toward the leg. Stop as soon as you start to feel the sensation of the hamstrings pulling and your back perhaps stretching. And you can put your hands here on your thigh for stability if you don't have much chair to grab. And we're going to hang here for another breath. Inhale, come up just a little bit. Exhale, relax down again. Inhale, come up just a little bit. Now I'm using the back of my chair to help lift me up and down. Exhale, come down, and just now allow your weight to just dangle there. And breathe. Let's inhale using the chair here to pull me up as opposed to my back. Coming up again. And then we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to kick that over there. I'm going to bring this leg over here. And I'm going to grab the back of my chair for stability. Take a deep inhale, or you can stretch up if you like. Exhale, and as you're exhaling down, reach back and grab that chair, or grab the seat of your chair or the side of your chair. Come down as deeply as you're able to right off the bat. You start feeling things talking to you, and then come up just an inch. Exhale, relax down. Inhale up just another inch. Exhale, relax down. And one more time, inhale up and exhale, relax down. And just let everything relax into this stretch. You're going to feel it up the back of your leg. You're going to feel it maybe a little bit in your low back. Breathe. And then using your hands to pull you back up again. Inhale, come back up. We're going to do the same stretch, but this time with both legs extended out. And remember, we have to have some balance happening here so that we can control the forward fold so we don't fall off the chair. So whether you're hanging onto the side of your chair or the back rungs of your chair, it's up to you. Just make sure that holding onto the back is not limiting how deep you can go into the stretch. Take a deep breath in, reach up, lengthen up, and as you start to tip forward, find your stability, grab the seat of the chair or the back of the chair, back here, and come down until you feel your legs engaged and the stretch started. Pushing up just a little bit, about an inch. Inhale up, exhale, relax back down again. Inhale up, exhale, relax back down again. We're just going to relax here. Breathe. Push into the chair, inhale, come back up again. And you can bring your feet back and you can just jiggle everything around a little bit. So we're going to come into the warrior poses. So you're going to be using your chair and we're going to be moving around from side to side on the chair, getting ourselves into the position. So I'm going to show you two variations of this. So one is going to be sitting sideways on your chair and one would be sitting in the forward position on your chair. And I might even show you the third one by just using the chair as a balancing point. So Warrior One. One of the hallmarks of Warrior One, and one of the things that quite often is done incorrectly, is that the hip bones are facing forward in this posture. The legs are spread apart, one foot in the front with a bent knee, one foot in the back, balancing with a straight leg. But quite often, the heels are pulled too closely together, and this starts to get the hips to shift into a sideways position, and it's very hard on the low back. So practicing Warrior One in a chair will help get you understanding the mechanics of the Warrior One position. So we've got our block here, or our books, and I'm going to just shift my weight over to one side of the chair so that part of my cheek on my bum on the left side is not really making contact with the chair. And this is one of the reasons why we don't have an armchair here to do the yoga practice in. So the front leg is bent position. My knee and my ankle are in line with each other. And I'm going to take this leg and I'm just going to stretch it back as far as I can. And I'm going to try to bring the heel down, but it's not going to be possible because of the position of the body. So I'm just bringing my leg back as far as I can. My toes are touching, maybe the ball of my foot is touching. Maybe more of my foot can make contact if you're really flexible in the front of the hip. But most of you will not be that flexible here. So in order to be able to do that, or you may not have as much flexibility in your Achilles tendon to drop your heel toward the floor. So we're just getting the leg back. And we're going to inhale the arms up and reach for the ceiling. So you can see in this position that my hip bones are facing forward toward you. If I come sideways in the chair, which is another alternative to do, I can place my foot down, got my knee and my ankle. And this time, in this position, I have a little more ability to place that foot a little bit further back because I don't have the back of the chair getting in my way. So again, if I try to put my heel down, I'm automatically shifting my hips over this way. So I'm just going to put the ball of my foot down. I'm going to have the front foot forward, inhale, And I'm going to be in warrior one. Breathe. Exhale. I'm going to show you the last one before we actually begin doing the practice. So if you're just following, just bear with me for 1 second, and I'm going to show you how to do warrior one with a chair. So in this case, I'm going to just flip the chair around here. So I've got my chair back here. It's going to be my stability. I'm going to have my front foot forward. I'm going to take my back foot. I'm going to step it back. And this time I do plant my heel down because I'm in a standing position and it's possible to do that. So looking down, if I glance down, I can see most of the top of my foot. If I look between my legs, my feet are, if I have an imaginary line down the center, there's one on each side of that imaginary line. How wide apart depends on your hips. And here I have my chair to give me stability so that I can come into this particular posture and not feel unstable. So you have those 3 options. So I'm going to leave it with you to decide which one you're going to do. And we're going to go into the warrior one with the right foot forward to begin with. So I'm going to sit this way and bring my leg back, balancing just on my toes or the ball of your foot, depending how much foot you can get down, how far you can get your leg back. We're going to inhale, reaching up. Exhale. We're going to do a forward fold. Again, you can reach for the back of your chair, and we're just going to bend forward. We're going to inhale back up again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back up again. From here, I'm going to take a side bend. So I'm going to drop my right hand down, and I'm just going to take a little side bend to the right. Inhale, back up again. And the side bend to the left, I'm going to grab the back of my chair, and just a little side bend to the left, come back up again. And then very, very slowly, I'm going to bring the back foot forward. Sitting just for a moment. Just allowing myself to feel all the muscles as they pull back into place. Let's flip over to the other side of the chair. This time I have the left foot forward. I have to bring my block here. And I'm going to bring my right foot back. So I'm sitting mostly on my left bottom cheek. Inhale the arms up. Breathe. Exhale. Coming down, we're going to reach for the chair to give us support coming down. And inhale back up again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale back up again. And we're going to do a side bend to the left first. So we're going to grab the seat of the chair, do a little side bend to the left. And we're going to exhale, come back up again. Grabbing the back of the chair with the right hand, we're just going to do that little side bend to the left. Inhale back up again. And bring that leg forward and sit for a moment. Breathe. The next posture we're going to do is warrior two. So just in the same way, we're doing the warrior two posture by sitting in the chair. So I'm going to turn sideways for this, for the first sample, just so that you can see my foot position. I'm going to bring my block here. I've got my right foot here. Now, the hip position in warrior two is a sideways position. So I'm going to shift myself so that I'm sitting just a little more sideways, and my leg is over here, and this leg is going to come back here. Now this time, if you are able to, you might be able to plant most of your foot down on the floor. It's not that important because we're seated, but try to see if you can push that. You're going to feel a tremendous stretching happening right in here, right from this part of your hip down to your muscle of your thigh. You need to be careful about that stretch. If that's too much sensation, just bend your knee a little bit and slide your foot closer towards you. so that you have taken that pressure off. But if you can tolerate it, if you can feel that stretch and you can tolerate it, please do it. So we're sideways. Now this time we're going to reach out in two directions. So our arm in the back is reaching for that side of the room, and our arm in the front is reaching for this side of the room. And we're going to just breathe here for a few seconds. We're going to drop the back hand down, reach the front palm up, coming into proud warrior. We're going to exhale, bring the arm down, relax it against our thigh. We're going to lift our shoulder up toward the ceiling, and we're going to stretch. Reaching for the other side of the room, not up to the ceiling. And then we're going to come back, coming back into warrior two. So I'm going to show you that in a standing position. So I don't recommend doing the warrior two on the side of the chair. I only recommend doing it this way on the seat. But if you were doing the warrior two and you wanted to stand beside your chair and use it for extra balance, I'm just going to flip the chair around and I'll show you that way. So front foot steps forward, back foot steps back, but we're turning sideways. So now we are lining our heels up. So the back heel and the front heel are in line with each other. The chair is here. I'm going to use the chair in this position. I could have the chair in the front position, so I could have my hand here. I can have it in a number of places. I could have it on this side of me. But what you need to know is that the chair is just there for balancing. So once you're in position, if you start to feel unstable, the chair is there. For those of you that standing up doing yoga practice doesn't feel good, I recommend you just do the seated position. So let's flip to the other side. So I've got my left leg forward now in a bent position, and my ankle and my knee are in line with each other. And then I'm going to slide this foot back until I can plant my foot down, the side of my foot, maybe the heel can make contact, maybe the whole foot can make contact, and I feel that stretch happening right here. And this knee is nice and stable. My foot is flat on the floor. I'm going to reach back and front, reaching for each side of the room. And I'm going to drop the back hand down. I'm going to lift the front palm up, coming into proud warrior. And you can grab your chair back here if you're worried about tipping backward. And then I'm on my exhale, I'm going to bring my forearm down. I'm going to lift my shoulder up toward the ceiling, and I'm going to stretch and reach for the other side of the room. Inhale, let's come back up. Warrior two. Relax your hands down and turn your toes in. Bring yourself back to that wide position. Slide forward on your seat and grab your block or your pile of books. Now we're going to do a forward fold with the chair. So in this case, the block is going to be your stabilizer. So get your legs as wide apart as you can, and we're going to drop that block down. If you've got a block and you're using a block, it's going to be the highest side. Now, if you don't have a block and you're only using books, flip the book so that it's on the skinny edge of the book, so the book is upright. And then you're going to drop down and you're going to just put your fingertips there. Keep your feet planted, toes pointed off toward the side, and we're just going to let our weight come down just a little bit. So try not to lift your bottom up off the chair. Just lean forward into the stretch. Then you're going to press into your legs and come up. So let's do that again. Inhale. On your exhale, reach toward your books or your block. And just relax your chest down toward the floor. And then using your thigh muscles, you're going to put your hands here and push and come back up again. And then heel toe to bring your toes toward each other. And sit for just a few moments nice and quietly on your chair. and breathe. So we're going to do those warrior postures again. We're just going to go through them nice and gently. And I want you to just do your best to be able to keep up with the flowing of the movement. So let's begin with warrior one. I'm going to turn sideways. And if you feel like sideways is better on your chair for you, then go for it. So warrior one, front knee is bent, back leg is stretched back as far as you can stretch it. You've got your chair here to keep you stable. Otherwise, inhale both arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, let's come down. Grab the chair if you need to. Just keep you from falling. Inhale, lifting back up again, reaching back up. Exhale, let's do that again. Inhale, back up. Exhale your hands down. I'm going to flip over to the other side. Warrior one, both hips are forward. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale back up again. Come back to center. Coming into warrior two. Front foot forward. Knee and ankle are lined up. And this time we're going to reach back as far as we can. And we're going to plant that foot down, and we're turning our hips just a little more to the side so they're sideways. And we're going to reach out front arm and back arm as far as we can. Drop the back hand down, front palm comes up. Exhale, we're going to drop the forearm down to our leg. Lift our shoulder up toward the ceiling and then take a nice stretch. Exhale the arm back down, come back up. Warrior two. Bring your feet, keep your feet out to the side, bring yourself to center. Grab your block or books. And then inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to do the forward fold. Push up, push into your legs if you need to, and come up again. And then we're going to change our direction so that we're in warrior two with the left leg forward this time. Stretching the arms out, breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Drop your back hand down, the front hand comes up. Exhale, forearm drops to your thigh. Lift your shoulder up, and either underhand or overhand, you can bring your arm overhead and reach for the other side of the room. And then coming right back, warrior two. Drop your hands down. Come back into the center position. And grab your block. Drop your block to the floor, high side up. And just let yourself settle down in between your legs. Push back up again. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, come into prayer and come back into your neutral position with the chair. And just breathe for a few moments. So we're going to come into what's called the supine twist. So we're just going to take the block, we're just going to move it over toward the corner, and we're going to take both feet and sit both feet on the block. And then we're going to relax back into the chair, and we're going to try to bring the right shoulder back as far as we can toward the back of the chair. And you can look in the right direction. So your knees are facing over to the left, your right shoulder is pressing back toward the chair, and you're looking toward the right. And you can have your hand here to help keep your legs from doing one of these things if you like. And just breathe here. Take a few breaths. We're just slowing everything down now. And then slowly come back to center. We're going to take the block. We're going to bring it over toward the right corner of our chair seat. Put our feet on it. And then very slowly, we're just going to start to push that left shoulder back toward the back of the chair and turn our chin in the direction of the left. And again, if you like, you can just put your hand here just to keep your legs in that nice position without losing that. And breathe. Take a few breaths here. And slowly come back to center. We're going to come into the child pose. So bring your block into the center of the chair's seat area. Make sure your ankles and knees are pretty closely aligned with each other. And we're going to come forward, so you can hang on to the sides of your chair if you like. And we're just going to come forward as far as our body will allow us to. And then once you get into that position where you don't think you're going to go any further without having to lift up your bum, then you can just curl your chin toward your chest. If you like, you can even reach back and grab the back of your chair. A little arm stretch in there. Use your hands and press into the chair to help lift you back up again. And just come into prayer position for a moment. Close your eyes if you like. Just feel your body. And then we're going to come for just a few moments into Shavasana. It's really important in yoga, whether you're doing it in a chair or whether you're doing it on the mat, or whether you're doing a very vigorous class or the most gentlest class or a yin class, to take a few moments at the end of the yoga practice to go into what's called Shavasana. Now, if you have, sorry, I have a little bit of a frog in my throat this morning. If you happen to have a blanket handy that you can wrap around you, you can always do that too in your Shavasana time. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here and we're just going to relax and close our eyes. Let your shoulders get heavy and let your body get heavy. And if your head feels like, oh, it's just too heavy to hold up, you can drop your chin into your chest. And when thoughts come in, just push them away. And instead, think about a place in your mind where you have been that was so beautiful, so peaceful. Maybe it was a walk in the forest. Maybe it was a walk along the beach. Or maybe you were sitting in your room or your backyard and having a cup of tea, and it was so peaceful. Just go there again and take some time there. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Allow your chin to rise up if it's down by your chest. And then let your eyes float open. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, waking up your body again. And if you feel like you need it, Take a nice stretch. And then we're going to lean over and just give ourselves a hug. Hug your body. Then come back up again. And just take a few more moments here, a few breaths here. Just feel how you're feeling. Just check in. Do that scan again. How do I feel and what do I feel? And then we're going to close the class. So let's bring our palms together. Close your eyes for a moment and just think of some beautiful thoughts. Think of the people you love. Think about sending love out to them. Let's rub our hands together, generating a little bit of energy, our prana. And as you do this, think of the places inside you that could use some healing energy. Close your eyes, place your palms over your closed eyes, and as you breathe in, open them. Sending that energy deep inside. And on your exhale, palms to ceiling, sending that beautiful energy out to the people that you love. But bring back just a little tiny bit back to your heart center. Namaste. So chair yoga, it's a different type of yoga practice. It's one you can do anywhere. You can do it sitting in an airport. You can do it when you're driving, if you're not driving the car, that is. A long distance drive, you can get some of those stretches in there. You can do this whenever you're in a hotel room and there's just not enough room to do a yoga practice on the floor, or you're suspicious of getting down on that floor. So think about chair yoga as an alternative method of getting some yoga into your day. And for those of you that can't get down to do a regular yoga practice, you can see that this is another way you can get your yoga into your life. So I'm going to come over to the computer, and if you have any questions or you just want to say goodbye, then I'll talk to you then through the computer. And if you like this class, please press like before you leave. And until next time, bye for now. Okay. So if you have a question, now's the time. If you weren't sure about anything we were doing, if you aren't sure about anything about yoga, if you just have a yoga question, if you have a question about the yin yoga workshop, anything at all, this is the time. I'm going to give it a few minutes in case you have some questions. Otherwise, I'll be saying goodbye. All right. Okay, I guess we have no questions. Oh, what a good stretch. Okay, hi, Connie. I'm glad you like that. I'm glad you like that. It's a little bit different from what we normally do in our yoga practice, but it's a good stretch. And it's one you can do on the edge of your bed in the morning, some parts of it anyway. So you don't always have to be in a place where you have space to put down a yoga mat. And that's the most important thing to take away from chair yoga, is that whether you need to do chair yoga because of your limitations of your body, or whether you just didn't have a space to do yoga in, you can still do yoga. Thank you, Lisa. Happy Halloween to you too. And I know it's your birthday. So happy birthday tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Today's Friday. Sunday. Happy birthday on Halloween. Bye, Kate. Thanks for joining us. So, see, we have no questions. I'm going to go and I'm going to say goodbye to you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Happy Halloween.